boxing voice.
All right, we're back with Willie the Great Nelson. Willie, man, talk to us. We just seen you on Friday Night Fights. You got the win. How do you grade your performance?
That performance, I graded on like C.
Now, why do you give yourself such a low grade? What didn't you like about what you were able to do against Grajada?
It's just in that fight, I really couldn't get too much of nothing off. He was an aqua fighter who did a lot of ducking and a lot of holding. I just sometimes just got frustrated in there and start fighting like a small man. I was so busy trying to focus on getting to him, and I sometimes abandoned my height.
Now, you've been recently, I don't know if you consider it inactive or not, but, in 2012, you had 3 fights. 2013, it was only 2. Now we're in 2014. This is your second fight. Are you comfortable with that level of activity, or would you like to be a little more active?
Of course, I'd love to be a little more active. I'm not comfortable with that level of activity because it's I'm just like in the gym, just doing nothing, just sitting around. Even though my last inactivity was due to an injury, but after that, we was still trying to get fights and find fights, and I couldn't land any fights for real. That's frustrating. Also, just sitting around not doing nothing.
Now you're signed to Lou DiBella. I was live at Broadway Boxing in New York City last night, and we had a talk, him and I, about you, and I asked him, why doesn't he have you on the Broadway Boxing? So before I tell you what he said, are you willing to fight off TV just to stay busy instead of going through inactivity, and to make sure that you keep the rust off so that when you are on TV, you're looking like your ring name suggests, the Great?
I just fought off TV to get a fight to stay active, so I think that this should answer the question. I just fought Daryl Cunningham off TV, so
yeah, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said it is what it is. I just fought Daryl Cunningham off TV to get a fight to stay active.
So would you be willing to continue that? Because over here in
go ahead.
Over here in New York City, Lou DiBella has a bit of a following in terms of his Broadway boxing series, whether that be at B.B. King's or at the Roseland Ballroom. Last night was a sold-out crowd, predominantly New York fans, but nevertheless still sold out. And it was quite a lot of talent there, names that, that fighters and fans should know. The Derek Wilsons of the world, Rafael Vasquez, Junior Sugar Boy was there. And, it was just, I was just asking Lou, why doesn't he put you on? And he told me that you have your mandatory minimum per fight exceeds the limit of what he's able to work with for Broadway boxing. But knowing that the level of an opposition that you're going to face on Broadway boxing isn't necessarily a threat for you, would you be willing to lower that mandatory minimum only for off-air television bouts so that you can stay active?
No, I'm gonna tell the truth. No, I won't be willing to lower my mandatory minimums to stay active on TV because regardless, the minimums are getting not much, and I'm a family man. I have kids. I have to feed my kids, so taking fights for cheap ain't something I'm looking forward into doing to stay active.
Now, I completely understand that, a bunch of us are family men. But when you look at a guy like yourself, you knocked off a couple of Olympians. You've had some good highlight reel knockouts on Showtime. You've been on HBO. But, again, your last couple of fights, specifically on HBO with Chihuelo and now on ESPN, you've been touched a bit and, have showed some flaws And I just don't know if activity, I'm assuming that activity is something that can correct those errors that you're still making in your actual fights.
Also, all this will go back to activity, and it also go back to like the quality of people on fight on Broadway boxing. Like I probably fight Daryl Cunninghams or guys even worse than that. So even staying a little busy probably make it worse if I'm fighting lesser opposition. I think the best thing for me to do is for them to keep me busy, give me better opposition, and just keep me fresh and keep me in the ring. And then therefore I won't be making like little mistakes and I don't know. Ain't much I can say because I'm not the one who get the fight. So
now, you spoke of the level of opposition that you would be, I guess, having to face on a Broadway boxing. We just seen Lamar Russ on Broadway boxing last night. He was upset. Eric Finley. He's a guy that was also on HBO versus Matthew Macklin. So guys are fighting on that level, but we don't have to stay stuck on that. Moving forward, you got the win on ESPN. It was on television, and at the end of the day, the most important thing is to get the win. So has there been any talks in terms of when we see you back at the ring? Is there a possibility that we can squeeze in another fight before the end of this year?
I'm hearing rumors of November, but that's just rumors. I'm hearing in November. We're not sure who's gonna pick it up, but I'm just hearing rumors in November, and we're not hearing about anything about a opponent yet. So hopefully.
Now, when it comes to opponents, does Lou give you, I guess, maybe let's say hypothetically 3 names and allows you to pick? How does it work? Because I recently, like I said, I was there yesterday, and I see that he's now working with Alantez Fox, which is also a junior middleweight, big, tall guy like yourself, and maybe that's a possible fight. Is that on the level that you're looking for, or are you looking for bigger names than an Alantez Fox?
Man, I'm looking for bigger names. Man, I'm tired of fighting up-and-comers or people who out of backyards who where the risk ain't as good as the reward. At least if I'm taking a risk of fighting a puncher, maybe fight a well-known puncher. If I'm taking a risk of fighting a good guy and take a risk of losing, at least let me someone that the risk is good as the reward. Like me fighting a whole bunch of these backyard guys and getting clipped with shots and getting surprised by them because I don't know too much on them, haven't watched any fight footage on them or anything like that. Them right there is a risk I'm taking, and they ain't good as a reward because if it was anyone else that I would have fought and they would have clipped me, they would have been like, well, this guy is this and he's a hell of a fighter, but because I fought a guy from nowhere that don't nobody know about, nobody have footage on him, despite him knocking out Camacho Jr. and being 17-2 with 14, 15 knockouts, besides him being known as a puncher, don't nobody know him. So even when me getting clipped, they give me credit, or will they give him credit about him being a puncher and he clipped me? It just don't one know him, and the opposition he fought wasn't too good, and he ended up clipping me. So right there make me even look bad. But if it was someone with a big name, a better name that would have clipped me and hurted me, it wouldn't have been as bad. So I'm just tired of fighting guys where I got everything to lose and they got nothing to lose. Like they got everything to gain. So no, that's not a name I'm looking forward to. No up-and-comers is names I'm looking forward to. I don't want to fight no up-and-comers. I don't want to fight no prospects. I don't want to fight none of that. Give me some legit people with legit names, and that's what the fights we're looking for.
And that's totally and completely understandable. I understand at this point in your career you felt you've done enough and you deserve your shot. And you almost had that, possibly with the Andy Lee matchup on the Cotto Martinez undercard. Things didn't work out. So what do you think Willie Nelson has to do to be matched up or mentioned with the upper echelon in your division, with the Canelos and the Lauras, or, guys like an Andy Lee, you know, James Kirkland. What do you have to do?
Well, Willie Nelson did his job. I went and got and signed a deal with Cameron Duncan. And before I even signed a deal with Cameron Duncan, I just been fighting. I've been fighting. I had no manager. I had my team basically just me and my coach. Yeah. That was it. I had no manager. It's me, my coach, and we was up promoters. That's it. And we got this far just by taking risks and taking fights. And me and my coach sat down and talked, and we felt it was time to bring in the manager, someone who can help us out, and we chose Cameron Duncan. So now, I did my job as in getting the manager who can help me out. Now, it's just sit back and just see what get offered to me.
Now, when exactly did you begin working with Cameron Duncan?
I began working with Cameron Duncan right after the Daryl Cunningham fight.
Okay, so basically 2 fights ago. Have you had any talks with him on, basically the way you spoke to me, that you're ready for the big names? You don't want Daryl Cunningham.
Yes.
You don't want who you just faced on Friday Night Fights. You want some names.
Yes, we had talks about that. And, he was like him, me, Cameron Duncan, and my coach. We all on board. We all on the same page. So it's about getting the promoters to do everything else, do their job.
Now, I just want you to know, for your own, for yourself and anybody that will listen to this or read this article later on, I know that you're committed. I know that you moved from Cleveland to Youngstown with Jack Lowe. I know that you're serious about it. You just need to let the rest of the world know that, unless they're following you closely, we really don't get to know much about Willie Nelson, and that's why the Boxing Voices call you as often as we do now, because we think you're a good talent. You have perfect size for your division, tall, young, and you're a boxer, but you tend to give up your height. We heard Jack Lowe on Friday Night Fights yelling at the top of his lungs. What's it going to take you to get you not to duck down so low when you're, throwing that right hand and giving up your height?
I don't know. It just even with that fight just took me to realize that I just can't be a head case, man. Sometimes, even in the gym, I get hit with a shot. I want to go to war with everybody, and I just see that I can't do it with everybody because, some guys they just awkward. It's just nothing you can do about it outside the ring. So just stick to the game plan and just fight as a big man. But even with that right there, they also come from sparring and stuff like that. Even with the sparring, not ripping into anyone, but how do people expect for someone to succeed in the ring if they get if they sparring not good? Basically saying they sparring not good. I get fights for certain X amount of money, and the training camp is not the best training camp, and then y'all expect someone to go in there and perform like a world champ. Well, I think it's hard to do when the training camp is suffering. So that they go back to fighting the better oppositions, the better names, the better people I fight, the bigger the purse are, then the better training camps we have. But until then, it's hard to correct mistakes when you're limited.
So basically you're saying that the level of opposition in terms of sparring out in Youngstown is nothing compared to what you feel you should be getting at this level in your career.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Now, what's it going to take? What do you have to do to get in some of these camps? Because I know that Sean Porter, he spars all the time with guys like Demetrius Andrade, who's a 154-pounder. Are you willing to be a bigger name's sparring partner opposed to a big name coming in to be your sparring partner? That is really different. Are you willing to have fighters call on you to help them with their camp just so that you can better yourself?
If that's happening, yes. But if that was happening, yes, I'd be willing. But it depends on who the fighter is. If it's someone I have my own, no. But if it's other than anyone I have my own, in the 154-pound division, No, I won't help him. But like any guys heavier, even guys, if they happen to be 147 pounds or miraculous 6'3", 147 pounder or 6'2", 147 pounder that they fighting. And yeah, I'd be willing to help. But other than that, anyone in 154 pound division that I got my eyes on, no. But this the training camp expenses and fights, like fighting on ESPN it's hard to get training camp expenses, and a lot of people in the sport with you because people not sparring for free. So we don't have any money to give them so they could spar and come to Youngstown and work with me. I'm just stuck with what I have.
Well, my last question before I let you go, being as though that you're looking at, is it going to be your goal to try and make a splash, a good impression on the television boxing fan, so he can change his perception of Willie Nelson?
You know what? I'm gonna tell the truth. Every time I try to make a splash, I tend to get out my game plan, out my hookup. So, my next fight, I'm just gonna focus on fighting how Willie Nelson fight. I'm not looking forward to impress anybody. I'm not looking forward to make anyone like me. Like, if they don't like me, oh well. That's just the reason they want to see me get beat. They still come by and take me to see me get beat up. If they do like me, that's a plus. I love all my fans. But other than that, I'm just going there to fight how Willie Nelson fight and take care of business. That's all I'm focusing on now.
So basically, you're out to get the win. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you have any social media, as always, this is the time to give it for anybody that's going to be listening to this or reading this as an article.
All right. Follow me on Twitter at Trey_Fab_5. I forgot my Instagram name. I just changed something to go in there and get it. All right. Just follow me on Twitter. I gave info.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Willie. And like I always tell you, Boxing Voice is following your career. We want to stay updated, so expect a call from us soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Boxing Voice.